Hello, everybody. So, today I wanted to talk about budgeting. As I'm writing my new book, one of the topics that I am highly focused on is budgeting and getting rid of debt. So, if you have a lot of debt, if you have $10,000, $5,000, $1,000, or more in debt, the first thing you want to do is plan accordingly. Where are you spending money? You want to look at your credit cards. You want to look at your history for the last 3 months and see where am I spending extra money that could go towards paying these debts off. Why am I always spending another 100, 200, 500, 2,000, $5,000 per month when I should be paying off these debts, when I should be having more money in the bank, right? There was a time where I was spending $2,000 a month just on going out, eating out, having fun, and going on multiple dates. Every single weekend, every Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Tuesday, I was on a date. Okay, I was doing my thing. It's $2,000 a month. I was spending 5, 6 different people that I was hanging out with, right? So that's not including going out on business functions. That's not including hanging out with coworkers. That's not including family time, right? Gas, whatever the case may be. So going and buying drinks, $20. Going and eating out with a female friend, $40. Whatever the case may be, I was just spending money left and right, not caring at all. And I understood that I had at least $2,000 a month that I could spend because I had income coming in. I had X, Y, and Z. I wasn't touching my emergency fund. I wasn't touching my savings. I was only saving probably $140 a month. But I knew that I wasn't going backwards, but I also wasn't going forward, right? $140 a month is not propelling me forward. And so I had to make a conscious decision that I was going to cut back on spending. And so that started with not eating out as much, not going to the restaurants as much, not getting that $10 box from Popeyes or that $12 burrito from Chipotle. And in doing so, the first month or two, it felt horrible. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm like, it's just $10. Why am I not spending money on it? It's just $10. But when I look back at my bank account after I get paid, and I look at my credit card balance and I notice that it's the same, and I look at my bank account and it's higher, I know that I was better because I waited 2 weeks rather than just splurging 2 weeks ago. I know that my payment on my credit card balance would have been higher had I had spent that $10, but instead it's the same or lower because I didn't. And in doing so, that when I get paid is when I feel the gratification, because I know that I'm in a better position than I was 2 weeks ago now because I didn't spend money, right? So you don't feel that initially. And for those of you who get paid weekly or monthly, depending on what type of business you're in, it may feel better when you get paid weekly, because you know, oh wow, I didn't spend any money this week and I just got paid. I'm better than I was last week. Or if you get paid monthly in a large lump sum and you didn't spend any money all month, which is very, very hard to do with the exception of gas and food, right? You're in such a much better position and you're just like, wow, I can't believe how much my life has changed in just 1 month from not spending. And so when I have to wait these 2 weeks, this is the first job that I've had where I had to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck in a long time. And so you can understand that waiting 2 weeks rather than one can be a lot more daunting. It can be a lot more hard. It can be a lot harder to delay gratification. When I receive my rental payments and things like that, that doesn't give me the same gratification as when I get paid from my job, because I'm actually putting in physical work every single time that I clock into that job, right? So if I'm going to this job and I have to wait 2 weeks for it, then even more I'm going to have to buckle down. I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to not do things. And it's not that, okay, after I get paid, now I can spend X, Y, and Z or X, Y, and Z. No, you got to continue to focus continue to focus and set goals. I'm going to do this for 3 months. I'm going to do this for 6 months. I'm going to do this for 1 year, right? 2 years, 3 years. And, after after you've met your goals, then you can start to unbuckle the belt a little bit, right? So my goal was really, okay, I'm going to do this until the end of 2023, going into February tax season, right? And for me, what does that do? That gives me a huge financial savings. That gives me a huge financial cushion after I get some money back in taxes after talking to my accountant or whatever. That's going to put me in a position to A, buy more properties, 2, invest more in the stock market, 3, just sit on the money and have it invested in a high interest savings account and wait for an opportunity to come. And that way, when I know I have money set aside for my opportunities, aside from just my emergency fund and things like that, now I'm in a position where I can then say, okay, I can eat out as long as I save X, Y, and Z every single month. I can hang out with some friends as long as I do X, Y, and Z every single month. Now, instead of $2,000 going out the door, maybe $700 goes out the door on fun, and I'm focused on whatever else I can do in order to be better. And so when we talk about budgeting, the first thing you want to do is look at your expenses. Look at what you're spending money on. 2, you want to correct the bad habits. So if that means having to cook meals every single day, you got to cook those meals every single day. It takes you 10 minutes or it takes you an hour. Listen, you got an hour. Yes, you got to sleep. Yes, you might work 12-hour shifts. Yes, it might take you all day before you can sleep. But I'm telling you, if you make one big pot of rice, one big pot of chicken, one big pot of pasta, that will last you 3, 4, 5 days. And then, yes, eating the same thing every single day is not the most pleasant thing in the world, but it will save you money in the long run, right? So it only takes you 1 day to make a meal for 5 days. It only takes you 1 day to make a meal for 4 days. And then afterwards, you're cruising through because you have the financial savings, the financial backing to now do other things with your life, right? You're not pigeonholed. You're not strapped. You're not going to Starbucks every single day. You're not going to McDonald's every single day. You're focused on your goals and your aspirations, and you're reaching them because you made those sacrifices, right? You don't get nowhere in life without sacrifice. People think that things happen overnight. People think that you just enter these houses, you just enter these paid off cars. You don't. You have to sacrifice a little bit. So you got to buckle down. You got to budget. You got to sacrifice. And you have to be determined. You have to be motivated. You have to have a goal. And you have to want to reach it, right? So whether that goal is 3 months of expenses saved, 6 months of expenses saved, paying off your car, or reducing how much debt you're taking on every single month, all of those things matter. You need to set clear goals and clear expectations for yourself. So that's all I really wanted to talk to you about today, is budgeting, looking at where you're spending your money and how to address those concerns. Another thing that I wanted to reiterate is that when you are making, let's say you're 21 and over, and you've had 3x years of work experience, or you had just recently graduated college, now is the time to look for a new opportunity where you can increase your income. You don't want to be making $30,000 every single year for the rest of your life, $40,000 every single year for the rest of your life. You want to increase that income. And that's not by necessarily taking on 2 jobs. It's about finding one job that pays you more than 2 jobs will pay you, right? That's the goal. The goal is not to work 2, 3, 4 jobs to make ends meet. The goal is to find one job that pays all your bills, right? Now, if you make $100,000 at one job and they don't want to go up to 120, then you might say, okay, let me go and get a part-time job to where I can make $17, $20, $25 an hour, whatever the case may be. But we're not doing minimum wage, right? We're not 17, we're not 16 anymore. When even at 18, you don't want to go for minimum wage. So we're climbing up the ladder. We're doing the things that we need to do in order to be successful young men and women in this society. So let's continue to push it forward. Every single year, I'm looking for an increase in my salary. Every single year. If there's no increase in my salary, then it's time for me to go elsewhere. because I know inflation is not waiting for me, right? So I shouldn't wait on a job either. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.